Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new YSL Y Elixir or Elixir. Interesting spelling going on there, but I'm very excited to smell it. I have not smelled it yet. I have the box here. We're going to be doing an unboxing first impression, and I'm very interested to see how this goes because this is a release that has a lot of discussion around it. People are talking about this release for two main big reasons. One being the usage of an oud note, which I love to see. I love to see these designer brands starting to play around with the note of oud, implementing the note of oud. I think that it's going to bring a lot of change in the designer direction, and I personally love oud. I love to wear oud. I love to smell it on a man, so I'm here for it. I'm ready to start seeing some trends in the designer world with oud fragrances. But the other reason that this fragrance is being talked about a lot is because of the price point. This is going for around $180 for a 60 ml, which is not affordable at all. And I have some arguments when it comes to the price, but I want to smell the fragrance first, and then we can kind of argue if I think that it's worth that price tag or not, because it is very high, but it's not necessarily anything new. I mean, basically the most worn, most popular men's fragrance, DIOR Sauvage Elixir, goes for the same exact price, for the same size. Let's just smell this really quick. Let's get our first live reaction and then we can talk about the price. I'm so excited. This is what the box looks like, very typical Y fashion. I'm also really hyped about this because I love the Y line. Just a really solid men's fragrance line. I personally think that Y Eau de Parfum is the best, but let's see if we can top it with the Elixir. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say Elixir because I do not know if I'm saying that correctly. So let's try the Elixir. So the bottle is pretty sleek. You can kind of see it. I have the worst lighting for showing bottles for some reason, but when it hits the light just right, you can kind of see this blue color. I like it. Oh, there we go. That looks better. I like the design of the bottle, that traditional wide design, but I like this kind of matte black with this very like chrome-esque looking blue. It honestly looks like a color that you put on like a Ferrari, honestly. I really dig the color. I like the bottle design, but how important is that? Let's spray it. So in the realm of the notes, YSL is not really giving us too much to play with here. Listed, we have lavender, geranium, oud, and frankincense. So pretty simple. The assumption that you would make hearing those notes is that, well, it really just depends on how dominant the oud is going to be, but I would assume that it's going to be a darker scent. Okay. Not at all. Not dark at all. There's definitely more going on to this scent than what YSL is giving us. I guess that this is what I should have expected. Like, you just heard me saying that I'm so excited for designers to start implementing oud. Honestly, I smell the oud in this, but it is like the most beginner-friendly oud on earth. And it definitely has that YSL, that very fun electric Y DNA. I can smell the relation in this lineup. I like this scent. I'm really getting something citrusy, something like a very welcoming, creamy citrus in the top here. But there is something about it that smells kind of green, but not like in a super overly spicy type of way. Maybe it's something like a patchouli, but maybe it's also coming from some different types of florals. There's something in this that is really interesting, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but the way that the oud is coming off in this is a very clean, very crisp kind of oud, almost a little bit soapy as well. It's coming from that geranium, I would assume. I like this. I like this a lot. I like it a million times better than DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I will start with that. This is a very nice, like, gentlemanly type of scent. Like, this smells like a very well-to-do, put together, he's got his life together, very dressy executive. Like, it smells very rich and it smells very fresh and clean. Like, it smells, in a way, there's a side of it that smells very like versatile. You could wear it anytime, just very clean, easygoing, but something that adds to that cleanness. It's very elevated smelling. So it's like, in a way, I would also say it's a great going out scent, great for the office. It's the type of scent that you could really wear this anytime. I don't really get a ton, like the oud in this is very minimal, I think, but I think that it could just be done in a different way than what we're used to smelling, because if designers are going to be implementing more oud, it's going to have to be in a very easy to digest, easy to understand type of way, because typically, especially here in America, people don't even know what that is. Like, they'll read it and they'll be like, what the heck is that? You know, like, ew, ew, what is that? But this is very nice, very clean. It's not what I was expecting at all. Oh yes, what I'm definitely getting that is making it kind of different is this frankincense. It's not really coming through like how I normally smell frankincense. It kind of gives it, in a way, this kind of dry element to the fragrance. Wow, it's really interesting. Like, this is the type of scent that it's very easy to wear, very appealing, but there's just something extra about it that makes you want to keep smelling it. Something that will make it stand out more than just any other typical designer scent, like in this kind of category. I think the lavender in this as well is what is kind of giving it more of that soapy, clean vibe. It's not like a very typical lavender either. I like that YSL is taking these notes and they're doing something different with them. Like, it doesn't smell like every other designer scent out there that you smell it and you're like, oh, lavender, some flowers, some resins and woods, you know? Like, it smells new, but at the same time, something very familiar, easy to wear, just very clean, but something just a little exotic about it. I don't know. Like, there's just something that feels kind of niche quality about this, like almost like a niche level type of fresh and clean scent. But with this just slight twist with that oud and with the resins, with that frankincense, I like it a lot, really. I need to smell it on skin. I need to smell it on a man, most importantly. This is just my first impression. I have never smelled this before, but I say it's a yes. And especially when you compare it to things like DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I mean, I guess now we can talk about the price, right? People's biggest complaint with this is the price. Once again, it is very high, but you just have to figure out if it's worth it to you, because of course it's very easy for people to come on here and say it's not worth it, it's too much, but it's like the same thing as DIOR Sauvage Elixir being $180 and 90% of the population that they know that fragrance by name, just because it's everywhere you go. So it just depends on if it's really worth it to you. I would 100% recommend this over DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I think that it's easier to wear. It's not quite as crazy, like just bad smell. I personally think that DIOR Sauvage smells horrible, but that's my opinion, obviously not the opinion of the masses. But for example, Gucci Guilty Elixir, I think it's like $175 for 60 ml. The prices, that's the direction that they're going in the designer world. And when you release this Elixir flanker, obviously the concentrations are going to be higher. If they're actually using like a real oud, that material is very expensive. So that would kind of explain a little bit of the price bump. And the thing is that if this ends up being as beastly as DIOR Sauvage Elixir, then I think it's worth it. If it lasts just as long, I think it's better than DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I think that you should definitely buy the Y Elixir over that, because that is just, I don't like it. And this is very nice, very manly, very clean, manly, gentlemanly, very well dressed, versus for me, DIOR Sauvage Elixir is just rough around the edges. But I also love Gucci Guilty Elixir, but my only complaint with that one is that it's definitely not anywhere near as strong as this one or DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those nuclear scents. I need to test it out, and I can give you guys my updated feedback in the future. And so the question is this fragrance worth the money? It really just depends on you. It depends on when you smell it. Do you relate with it? Does it make you happy? Is it something that you're drawn to? Because for me personally, if there's a scent out there that I love, I will buy it. I don't care if it's, if it's pricier, but it really speaks to me, I think that it's justified. If I know I'm going to wear it a lot, I will buy it for myself because I really love it. And sometimes it just happens where fragrances just speak to you. Obviously, DIOR Sauvage Elixir is speaking to a lot of people because they continue to buy it. But this is very refreshing, very new, and it's perfect. It's the perfect, like, upgraded version if you just like to wear fresh, clean types of scents. This is going to be perfect for you if you want something with a little twist that isn't quite as intrusive and punchy and rough as DIOR Sauvage Elixir. I like it, especially if you love lavender, because this kind of has these elements like of an older style fragrance. Just like Gucci Guilty Elixir for me is like modern but inspired by some vintage perfumery. This to me has that very clean-esque kind of feel, but it feels very modern. It feels very new. It doesn't feel vintage at all. There's just something about this powdery lavender and this very gentlemanly. I really like it. It's not what I was expecting at all. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I'm really drawn to this scent. I really like it just smelling it off the strip here. I need to continue to test it, smell it on some men, and get my opinions then. Just upon first impressions, I think this is fantastic. I think that it's a very sexy, like gentlemanly, manly scent that definitely a lot of women are gonna be very pulled to this. Women love this smell of a fresh, clean man. So you really just need to test it out for yourself, and then once you smell it, once you put it on your skin and you test it, you'll know if it's worth the price or not. So get out there, go out to Macy's, stores that carry the Y line. It's a really interesting scent. Just get out there and try it, guys. So that was my first impression of the new YSL Y Elixir. I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna keep testing it, see how my thoughts evolve around it, and I will keep you guys updated. Leave a comment below if you've tried the new Y Elixir. Do you like it? What do you think about it? Are you excited to try it? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.